Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to All Force e-learning classes. This is a first year political science or civics class. Yesterday, we discussed about meaning, definitions and types of liberty. First of all, what is the meaning by liberty? Liberty is the freedom of the individuals to do anything that does not harm to others. It is a real liberty. Then the word liberty is derived from a Latin word liber, which means freedom. Then some of the definitions. First definition of J.R. Seeley. According to him, liberty is opposite over government. According to F.A. Hayek, liberty means absence of coercion. Then features of liberty. It is dynamic. 1. It is manifested in the form of rights. It means it is a product of rights. 3. It is available only in democratic states. 4. It is against political subjugation, imprisonment and slavery. And 5th one is it implies absence of unnecessary restraints and presence of favorable conditions for development of the individuals. These are the features of liberty. Then types of liberty. There are 5 types of liberty. 1 is natural liberty, 2 civil liberty, 3 political liberty, 4 economic liberty, 5 national liberty. Natural liberty means the unlimited liberty enjoyed by the individuals in primitive society. Then civil liberty means the personal liberty of the individuals in the civil society. It is manifested in so many civil rights. Then political liberty means the freedom of the individuals to actively participate in the political affairs of the state. It is also manifested through so many political rights. Economic liberty means the liberty of the individuals to earn his livelihood. And last one is national liberty. National liberty denotes freedom or independence of a state, or in other words, it denotes the sovereignty of a state. These are the various types of liberty. Today I am going to explain safeguards of liberty. Dear students, now we are in 4th unit, that is political concepts. Then second lesson B, liberty. Clear? Today I am going to explain certain safeguards of liberty. Dear students, in the world so many incidents, movements, struggles were originated for liberty. But unfortunately, in every society there are certain anti-social elements and social evils are there. They will disturb the liberty of the individuals. Hence, so many political philosophers mentioned certain safeguards to protect the liberty of the individuals. They may be social, political, economic and constitutional. Clear? Now let us discuss one by one safeguard. At first, the list of safeguards. 1. Democratic rule. Democratic rule. 2. Constitution with fundamental rights. 3. Separation of powers. 4. Decentralization of powers. 5. Freedom of press. 6. Strong opposition. 7. Independent judiciary. Economic justice. 9. Rule of law. And last one is eternal vigilance. Now I am going to explain one by one. Democratic rule is one of the most important safeguard of the liberty of the individuals. How can we say? At first, What is democracy? Democracy is the government of the people. It is the government of the people. In democracy, the people will elect their representatives to form the government. Clear? The people will elect their representatives to form the government. Hence, it is a responsibility of the people's representatives to protect the liberty of the individuals, because they are elected by whom? People. Clear? And one more thing, democratic state can protect the liberty of the individuals through various types of laws. Democratic government can protect the liberty of the individuals through various types of laws. Clear? Hence, the democratic rule or the democratic system is considered as the best safeguard of the individual. Moreover, the liberty can be flourished only in democracy. Liberty will be available only in democracy, and the liberty of the individuals can be safeguarded only in democratic form of government. Clear? Then one more thing, if the government will go against the people, democratic rule can allow the individuals to change their government through elections. Clear? So it is the first safeguard of the liberty of the individuals. Second is a constitution with fundamental rights. Constitution with fundamental rights. Clear? Now here, a written and reserved constitution with fundamental rights is considered to be the most important safeguard of the liberty. How can we say? Now, constitution will act as a guardian or custodian of the liberties of the people. It acts as what? Custodian of the liberties and rights of the people. Clear? So it acts as custodian of the liberties and rights of the people. Custodian means protector or guardian of the liberties of the people. Clear? If the government will go against the rights of the individuals, or whenever the rights or the liberties of the individuals are confiscated by the others, or governmental authorities, the constitution will mention certain safeguards. How the constitution will safeguard the liberties of the individuals? Through fundamental rights and courts of law. Clear? In our India, our Constitution of India is providing 6 types of rights. Right to constitutional remedies is one of them. What? Constitutional right to constitutional remedies. Constitutional remedies. It is one of them. Clear? The right to constitutional remedies empowers the judiciary. Judiciary means court. Here, higher courts, Supreme Court and High Court. Clear? Right to constitutional remedies empower the judiciary to protect the liberty or rights of the individuals. Hence, it is considered as one of the best custodian of the liberties and rights of the people. Clear? The second one. Third, separation of powers. Separation of powers. Separation of powers means dividing the powers of the government among the three organs of the government. Clear? It is called as a separation of powers. Separation of powers means powers of the government are divided or separated among the three organs of the government. Three organs of the government. Clear? Here government has three types of powers. One is lawmaking power, that is lawmaking power. Second one is law execution power. Three, law interpretation power. Law interpretation power. Clear? Here, if the three powers of the government are vested in a same person or group of persons, it leads to despotism. Hence, the powers of the government must be separated among three organs of the government. Among three organs, legislature, already we know, executive and judiciary. Example, here three organs are there: legislature, executive, judiciary. If legislature will go against the rights of the people, then the remaining two organs of the government will check the attitude of the legislature. In the same way, if the legislature executive will go against the liberties of the individuals, then judiciary will check the dictatorial tendencies of the legislature and executive. Like this, separation of powers is also one of the important safeguard of the liberty of the individuals. The fourth one, decentralization of powers. Decentralization of powers. Clear? Decentralization of powers means the powers are divided among the union, state and local governments. What is meant by decentralization of powers? Dividing the powers among different levels of governments. In our India, there are three levels of governments. One is union level government, that is central government. Second, state level government. Third, local level government. Clear? If the powers are divided among different levels, union level, state level, local level governments, is called as a decentralization of powers. Clear? Like separation of powers, it is also one of the important safeguard of the liberty. Clear? Through decentralization of powers, or the decentralization of powers can the better safeguard of the liberty of the individuals. Clear? Hence, the powers must be divided among three levels of the government. If one government will go against the liberty of the people, the remaining governments will question the dictatorship of another government. Clear? So, it is another one. Freedom of press. Freedom of press. Press means media. It may be print media or electronic media. It may be print media or electronic media. Press is considered as a fourth pillar of the democracy. Fourth pillar of the democracy. It is also nothing but a fourth estate of the democracy. Clear? In democracy, first pillar is the legislature. Second pillar is the executive. Third pillar is the judiciary. And fourth pillar is the media or press. Clear? The press will check the dictatorial attitude of the government. Clear? It can criticize the policies and programs which are against the liberty of the individual. When the press will check the dictatorial tendencies of the government, when the press and other agencies must have the autonomy or freedom. Clear? The press must have the autonomy or freedom. Then only the press can criticize the policies and programs of the government if they are against the liberty of the individuals. So without autonomy or freedom, they cannot protect the liberty of the individuals. Hence, in democracy, there must be autonomy or freedom to the press, and it acts as a mediator between government and people. All the policies and programs of the government are informed to the people. In the same way, the opinion of the people on the policies and programs of the government to the government, like it will act as a mediator between public and government. Hence, it is also one of the important safeguard of the liberty of the individual. Then, press will protect the individual's liberty by publishing the impartial news and editorials. By that, the press will protect the liberty of the individuals. Then, sixth one is a strong opposition party. Here, well organized political party system, especially strong opposition party, is very essential for protection of the liberty of the individuals. Clear? So in democracy, the parties in the legislatures are broadly divided into two types: ruling party and opposition party. So along with the ruling party, there must be strong opposition party in the democracy. Clear? It acts as a watchdog of the liberty of the individuals. It acts as what? Watchdog of the liberties of the people or citizens. It acts as watchdog. Clear? How? Whenever the party in power or persons at the higher level of the government try to damage or disturb the liberty of the individuals through their dictatorial acts or activities, then the opposition party will question the dictatorship or dictatorial activities of the government inside the legislature and outside the legislature. Clear? If the party in power or the persons at the higher levels of the government try to disturb the liberty of the individuals through their dictatorial activities. Clear? Through dictatorial activities, the party in power or persons at higher level in the government can disturb the liberty of the individuals. In this situation, the opposition party will strongly resist such dictatorial activities of the ruling party. By that, opposition party will protect the liberty of the individual, and hence strong opposition party is considered as what? Watchdog of the liberty of the people. Watchdog of the liberties of the people. Seventh one, independent judiciary. Independence judiciary. Already we know judiciary. It is one of the important organs of the government. Here I write independent judiciary. What is independent judiciary? When there is no interference of the other two organs of the government in the functioning of the judiciary, then it is called as a what independent judiciary. There is no scope for interference of other two organs. What are the other two organs? Legislature and executive. In its functioning, then it is called as a independent judiciary. Clear? How the independent judiciary will protect the liberty of the individuals. Clear? So whenever people or authorities of the government will encroach the liberty of the people, then the independent judiciary will protect the liberty of the individuals by issuing certain writs. By issuing certain writs. Writs means special orders which are issued by the higher courts like Supreme Court and High Court to protect the liberty of the individuals. Writs means special orders. Special orders issued by the higher courts. Higher courts like Supreme Court, High Courts. So what are the writs? Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari and quo warranto. These are called as writs, as we will study about these writs in the further classes. By issuing these writs, the judiciary will protect the liberty of the individuals. It is very clear? Then, independent judiciary will protect the liberty of the individuals by delivering the justice to the people on free, fair and impartial manner. Clear? The judiciary must deliver the judgments, deliver the justice to the people in free, fair and impartial manner. Impartial manner. Then only the independent judiciary can protect the liberty of the individuals. It is very clear? So hence it is also called as what? Safeguard of the liberty of the individual. It is also called as custodian of the liberty of the people. It not only protect the liberties of the individuals but also protect the constitution. It makes the government to accountable to the people. It makes the government accountable to people for its acts, decisions and whatever it may be. Clear? It is another thing. Then, economic justice or economic equality. Economic justice or economic equality. So, it is also important safeguard of the liberty. It is considered as the pillar of the liberty. Economic justice is considered as what? Pillar of the liberty. Pillar of the liberty. Pillar of the liberty. Here, what is meant by economic justice? Economic justice implies the provision of adequate conditions for the people to come out of evil effects of hunger, then poverty and unemployment. It is called as what? Economic justice. Economic justice implies what? The provision of adequate conditions for the people to come out of evil effects of hunger, then poverty and unemployment. So these are the evil effects. It implies or it denotes provision of adequate conditions. There must be adequate conditions to all the individuals. Then only there is a scope for equal opportunities to all the people to enjoy their liberty. For the people to come out from where evil effects. What are the evil effects? Hungry, poverty and unemployment. It is the meaning of economic justice. Then economically, if there is a gap between haves and have-nots in the society, economically, if there is a wide gap, so between whom? Haves and have-nots. Haves and have-nots. Then who will enjoy the liberty? Only the haves, means rich people or higher section people will enjoy the liberty. In other words, when there are economic inequalities in the society, only higher section people will enjoy the liberty. Clear? When there are adequate opportunities among the individuals, or there are equal economic opportunities to the individuals, then all individuals or all citizens will enjoy the liberty equally. Hence, there is no scope for gap between the haves and have-nots. Okay? It is nothing but safeguard of the liberty. Clear? It is nothing but safeguard of the liberty. Moreover, it is the responsibility of the state to create a good atmosphere or good conditions to the people to enjoy economic security. Hence, it is one of the important safeguard of the liberty. Then, rule of law. As already we know, we studied rule of law, I think in class law. What is meant by rule of law? All are equal before law. Yes, all are equal before law and equal protection of law. Equal protection of law. It is the meaning of rule of law. Rule of law was originated at first in Britain. Later, it was adopted by so many countries. Now it is prevailing in Britain, India, USA and so many democratic countries. Clear? Here, how the rule of law is one of the safeguard of the liberty. Rule of law can be considered as a powerful protective shield of the liberty of the individuals. How it will protect the liberty of the individuals? It will protect the liberty of the individuals by treating all the people equally. Clear? By treating all the people before the law. Treating all the people equal before law. Treating all the people equal before law. Equal before law. It is a one thing. By implementing the laws uniformly. By implementing the laws uniformly means the government must implement the laws equally without any discrimination. And third one is by imposing certain restrictions on executive against the misuse of power. Against misuse of power. By these three ways, the rule of law will protect the liberty of the individuals. Clear? So by treating all the people equal before law, by implementing the laws uniformly, by imposing certain restrictions on the executive against misuse of powers. And last, One is eternal vigilance. Eternal vigilance. Eternal vigilance. Here, it is the most important safeguard of the liberty than the remaining safeguards, because if we are vigilant in protecting our liberty, there is no scope for other safeguards. Clear? So in this context, here one writer, namely H.J. Lasky said that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. It is a price of liberty. It is a price of liberty. Clear? In this context, people must be vigilant in checking the policies and programs of the government which are against the people. Clear? We must be vigilant in which matters? In checking the policies and programs of the government. Then we must be aware of our rights. We must be aware of our rights, and we must be ready to protect our rights. Clear? Next, we must have courage in point out the lapses of the government policies and programs. Clear? We must have courage. We must have courage in pointing out the drawbacks or the defects of the government. Clear? And last, the most important one is people must have interest and commitment. People must have what? Interest and commitment in protecting their liberty. Then no need of other safeguards. If we have interest and commitment in protecting our liberty, then there is no scope for other safeguards for protecting our liberty. Clear? Hence, the eternal vigilance is one of the most important safeguard of the liberty. Clear? So it is a list of safeguards of liberty. What are the safeguards? Number 1, democratic rule. 2, constitution with fundamental rights. 3, separation of powers. 4, decentralization of powers. Then freedom of press, independent judiciary. Then economic justice or economic equality, strong opposition parties, rule of law, and eternal vigilance. These are the important safeguards of liberty. Okay, dear students, I will meet you in the next session. Goodbye.